What's up, champions fam? It's Z.E.K.E back on a brand new WWE Champions video. I'm not going to hold y'all for long, but the other day I did release a video covering my top 10 requested champions of 2020. And at the top of that list was none other than Bray Wyatt, Firefly Funhouse, Modern Era Showboat, as well as The Fiend, Let Me In, YOWIE Modern Era Powerhouse. A few hours later, WWE Champions and Scopely update their official website and blog. Check out the link in the description below to showcase a brand new Family and Fiend contest that will be starting shortly. And with that, we are going to get the official in-ring champions debut of Modern Era Showboat, The Fiend, Let Me in WWE Champion. So I'm absolutely hyped about it. It's a little bit of best of both worlds for me because I did say it'd be cool if they did come out with a gear where either Firefly Funhouse Bray turns into The Fiend or The Fiend turns into Firefly Funhouse Bray, and that's exactly what they did because he has an absolutely broken gear that's going to be available, and mad luck to those who are able to acquire and capture it because this Firefly Funhouse gear that turns The Fiend into Bray Wyatt, that is, Mr. Rogers, Bray Wyatt, right? This gear is broken because it's going to have all moves starting off with 4 more MP. So that's going to help out, especially when you consider his tag links. He has a Modern Era link, which allows gems to do 5% more damage, and he has a SmackDown show link, basically buffing his MP by 1. So you put that with your MP trainers and coaches combined with his Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt gear, and The Fiend is going to be basically good to go. So that's a pretty solid look for him. He does have a unique trainer and coaching ability. Boards are going to have a 25% chance initially to start out with more red gems. So that's going to help out a lot, especially if you are running Sting, especially if you're running X-Pac as an MP coach. This is going to allow you to get off your moves real quick. This also benefits the other variations and versions of Bray Wyatt, Trickster and Striker, because they both can utilize double red move sets. So that's a solid look. That's a good look and a good combination, especially if you want to run The Fiend alongside Big John Studd combined with X-Pac as a red MP coach. This is definitely going to be helping out a lot of people. So again, definitely going to be broken. Now, I did get an opportunity to do some 4-star gold exclusive gameplay thanks to Champions and Scopely. And by the time you see this video, he's already been removed from my account, but I'm going to be realistic with y'all. I'm sticking to my word. I'm not doing any more gameplay videos just because the other broskies are far more superior at it and they're going to be able to deliver on that action. So please be on the lookout and support the broskies once their videos launch. But I did utilize him enough to give my own personal opinion that I'm going to share with each and every single one of you within this video. Now, this is what he looks like once you are able to recruit him. Now, from what I understand, we're going to get an opportunity to unlock him at 3-star bronze. You can also recruit him at 4-star bronze with 1,200 shards of him, but there's also going to be a special loot where you can pull him and get him similar to Kairi Sane and Hulk Hogan and the Hall of Fame champions at 4-star gold. So there's going to be a multitude of ways to get him depending on how set you are when it comes to disposable income, or if the scope gods choose to bless you with some mad crazy RNG luck. But I do love the design of him. He absolutely looks intimidating as hell. If you haven't seen his 3D design within the game, he's got the Bray Wyatt head lantern. He looks beast. His actions and his motions at the standby screen in your roster are highly similar to Firefly Funhouse Bray. So when you put the Firefly Funhouse gear on him, the motions make more sense compared to what you would expect from the Fiend. I was expecting the Fiend to just be staring and looking at you or holding his hands to his head, shaking and crazy and, you know, peekaboo, I see you. But I digress. We're going to go ahead and check him out. He is a chaotic showboat. And again, he's Modern Era. So these are some things to consider when going after him. Now, the first build that I used when it came to his moves was the Mandible Claw, generating 15 random submission gems that deal 8.9k damage for 4 turns, and the remaining submission gems on the board will turn into power gems with a strength of 3.8k. So pretty solid, especially when you consider running him with Woods on as an MP trainer. That's going to help out a lot. Or DXHBK for Purple MP as a coach. That'll definitely benefit him, especially in a SmackDown tag team with either a male or female champion when it comes to Showdown. So he's going to have y'all covered when it comes to Showdown with mixed match or male on male action. Following that, we have a black move, the running crossbody block, dealing 14.5k damage and modifying a 6x6 random area into protect gems with the strength of 1213. Now, for those of you who don't know, the gem board that we utilize is a 7x7 board. So he's going to be taking up the majority of that board, if I recall correctly, and that's going to help out a lot with reducing gem connect damage from your opponent. Now, if an opponent hits a move, he will take the full on blow from those moves unless you got some solid metals on him to reduce that move damage. But all in all, when it comes to gem connects, he will be reducing that damage like crazy to 1, even if it's a critical hit. So that's solid. Then we have the Lariat clothesline. The Lariat clothesline dealing 9.9k damage and dealing 14.5k bleed damage to your opponents for 6 turns with that gear on, y'all. With that gear on, and if you have DXHBK and Woods on him, you're going to be able to spam that bleed move and that submission. So a very solid defensive build here. We're going to be receiving no damage at all from gem connects from the opponent thanks to those protect gems on the board. Even if we lose a couple from gem connects from either side, us connecting them or the opponent connecting them, we are still going to be set when it comes to gem connects. We will be receiving 1 damage from those. Then we have the Mandible Claw, allowing us to generate random gems on the board that turn into power gems, similar to Edge's submission. You know what I'm saying? That's going to help out a lot with spamming certain specialty gems that, again, every time you connect on the board, they'll lose health thanks to those power gems that the Fiend lays on the board. So you got the protect gems to help preserve your health. You got the power gems draining your opponent's health per gem connect on your end, and then you have the bleed damage that is going to benefit you when your opponents get their turn, especially if you're able to stack it up. It's going to be bleeding them like a stuffed pig. So a stuck pig, I should say. So Seth Rollins, Architect Striker, Kairi Sane, the Pirate Princess, Modern Era Trickster, if you got both of them on him, 75% more bleed move damage. So he's just going to be draining people like it's nothing, combined with the power gems that deal damage, and you have the protect gems to save your health. He's going to be a defensive monster. The next build that we have here is the Sister Abigail finisher, dealing 33.7k damage, allowing us to choose gems to destroy and pinning the opponent. Then we have the running crossbody again for that 6x6 area to turn into protect gems. And then we have the forearm club. This is one of his 2 1 MP move charge moves. The forearm club is going to deal 3.4k damage and make random protect gems into power gems with the strength of 6.4k damage. So this is what I'm saying here. Zombie Nakamura Trickster is going to help out here because he's going to allow the yellow move to destroy more gems. So you're going to be able to destroy more gems with Zombie Nakamura. You also have the running crossbody again, reducing damage that he can take, so he'll be able to last. And then we have this forearm. Now, one thing I learned is if you put Triple H Authority Striker on him, he will allow more protect gems to be turned into power gems with more strength when it comes to those. So that's something to consider right there. But we ran Akam here for the yellow MP. But again, this is something to consider. I don't use perks. If you have perks fully maxed out for an MLC and combined with that Funhouse gear, man, Fiend's going to be just spamming all of his moves left and right. Especially considering with that Sister Abigail, that's going to allow you to set up with destroying more yellow gems. So you can be able to get that finisher again and again and again. And then you can also get your board set up again and established properly with those protect gems that you can turn into power gems to continuously drain health. Now, the other one MP charge move he has is the Uranagi. And what that one does is, if I recall correctly, it is going to turn, I believe it's going to turn power gems into heal gems. So another way for him to sustain himself. And again, it's a 1 MP charge move. So Fiend has a lot of utility when it comes to his builds. Finally, the last move set that I used properly was the Sister Abigail combined with the Mandible Claw and the Lariat Clothesline. Pretty much simple. You use the Sister Abigail so that you can cycle your purples. And again, if you got MP perks, you got that Firefly Funhouse gear on him, you got DX HBK for that purple MP boost, it's going to be easy to cycle your purples. You steady stack up the bleed, you steadily drain their health with the power gems, and you just keep cycling with the Sister Abigail so you're able to just take down your opponent. The thing that I realized about the Fiend is this. One thing that does hinder him, even when he's fully maxed and with his moveset, if you haven't checked out his card, is that he has no proper moves outside of the finisher, the Sister Abigail, that allows him to properly cycle. We don't have a move that's turning gems into purple gems so you can bleed and hit the Mandible Claw. We don't have a move that's making black gems for the protect gems. We don't even have a move that's making yellow gems. So with this build here, due to how low charge these moves were, I used Z.E.K.E to get the finisher off sooner, and I ran Seth Rollins since I don't have Kairi Sane for bleed damage. I also went ahead and used DX HBK as well for purple MP to help me out. So that's something to consider with that. Another person that you could utilize here is Zombie Lesnar if you want it, but he's kind of pointless because you want these power gems to get down as soon as possible. So it's making me think more than likely that just like how we got co-owner Flair, who reduces black submissions by turns, we're more than likely going to get a champion who's going to be a coach that's going to reduce the turns of purple submission. So that's going to be something that's definitely going to benefit people. But one thing that I have to say, just like I covered with the Uranagi, the one MP charge that turns power gems into heal gems. So you think about that. You use the Mandible Claw. The Mandible Claw is going to make power gems. You have the crossbody that's turning gems into protect gems, okay? You can turn those protect gems into power gems, and then you can turn those power gems into heal gems to heal yourself. So what I'm getting at is this. He isn't an offensive beast in the sense that he's going to be choose moving, wild cardoing everything. He's more or less a survival monster. He's going to be somebody that you can use first in showdowns to establish somebody else that's about to come in. So granted, everyone normally is going to start out with their go-to champion first and not do that. But just to say it, man, like he runs purple and black, you could easily team him up with Slick Rick. You know what I mean? You could easily team him up with Slick Rick. Make that random area, the 6x6 protect gem area for Slick Rick to come in. You can easily then go ahead, do a wild card line on the side, or break a couple of them with Rick's choose move, amplify the multiply gem strength. Easy clap. No one's getting out of it one way or the other. You know what I mean? He's a very solid champion, but he's a top tier defensive champion. So for instance, that Mandible Claw, he's going to be able to get that off real quick. So with the perks and the gear involved, if you're able to get it, he's easily going to be sucking the life out of Zombie Austin. He's going to easily put a stop to Zombie Austin. He's going to be haltering progress from Slick Rick. He's going to be a monster. There's no way around it. He's going to be able to reduce damage that he's hit with, especially if going up against acrobats, Showboat's natural weakness. The Fiend is definitely a solid champion. He's just a solid champion in ways that you wouldn't expect him to be. When I thought of the Fiend, I thought of someone that was going to be blowing up the board with column breaks, row breaks, blast gems, X break gems, cross break gems. That's what I was thinking. But instead, they went the other way with him. He's a guy that's going to be able to be a survivalist in the sense of, like I said in my video, no selling everything. Literally, he's going to get a hit from a gem connect from a striker. He's receiving 1 damage. He's losing 1 HP, 1 health point. You know what I mean? So you got to look at it like that and consider that when you're dealing with him. So if you need a top tier, top quality defensive juggernaut and monster of a champion who's going to be able to cover a lot in a little bit of time, I say go with the Fiend, because literally there's so many ways that you could properly run him. But for me personally, when it came to using him, I preferred using the Sister Abigail, cycling to get the Mandible Claw, and the stacking that bleed damage. That bleed damage is immense if you have Seth Rollins and Kairi Sane. There's no way around that. Akam to get that finisher off sooner, plus Rikishi for yellow MP as well. That's definitely going to benefit you. The same here. I mean, you could get Elias for black MP if you wanted to go down that route. So that's the one thing to do, but the thing to consider is with that Funhouse gear, you know, a lot of this stuff's going to end up being broken because some of these moves are already 1 MP charge, and some of these are very low charge moves already. So it's going to be easy for him to get them off without issue or hesitation. But the thing that a lot of people might want to know, I have yet to see from the matches that I did, there wasn't a way possible for me. Now, granted, I don't have perks maxed out, right? I never saw one of these builds work to the sense that he turn 1 somebody, not even turn 2 somebody. It's literally like these are for difficult match. This is like someone you use for those expert mode matches. You know what I mean? This is someone you use for a difficult blitz opponent in one of the premium blitzes. This is somebody you use against a champion who's been stacked with vitality and padded metals in a faction feud. This is the champion that you're going to. You're going to run the Fiend. He's going to milk them dry of their health. He's going to reduce the damage. So think about it. Even if Zombie Austin got his skip turn off, if you're able to get all of those protect gems down on the board beforehand, well, pretty much like, yeah, you're going to be stuck in a like continuous loop, but you're not going to be losing any real health outside from the move damage that is delivered. So this is just one of those guys that I consider hands down. He's going to be one of, if not the best defensive champions in the whole game. Even though he looks like he should have been a offensive champion. But there's something to consider here. And hear me out on this too. The Fiend has been presented completely different from Bray Wyatt. So Let Me In Fiend could easily be the first variation of this character. And he's a defensive monster. Who's to say that we will not see an offensive powerhouse or striker Fiend with a different epithet that does say Yowie Wowie? It's something to consider because they don't have Bray Wyatt's name on here. You go to his character card and it straight up says The Fiend. It does not say Bray Wyatt. So they could easily be dropping a defensive Fiend here and an offensive Fiend later. But that's it, y'all. That's the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Are you going to pursue him or not? Listen, you can't tell people what to do with their disposable income. But you have a choice on whether or not, regardless, Champions is going to get their money one way or the other. There's no way around it. But understand this. He's a defensive champion over an offensive OP champion. He's offensive in the sense of power gems and bleed. I dig it. But technically that's defensive because that's to help you out in your favor combined with the protect gems that can be used. Me personally, like I said, the Sister Abigail with the double purple, solid way to cycle your moves, solid way to get your builds up and ready again. I also like the double purple with the black cross body. That helped out a lot as well. And he doesn't lose that much damage from those. You know, he literally is set up to be immortal. He's going to last. He's going to no sell damage because literally he's only receiving 1 damage from gem connects. He's only receiving any heavy damage from high move damage champions. So powerhouses might put a dent on him with their moves, but when it comes to gem connection, he's going to be evading that with the protect gems. He is going to be a defensive behemoth that I feel everyone should go after. But if defense isn't your thing, hold on to your disposable income. Wait for another chance of Hulk Hogan coming around, or wait to see who the next top tier champion is going to be. But when it comes to defensive champions, the Fiend, let me in, Chaotic Showboat, Modern Era is the creme de la creme. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. So with that being said, y'all, mad love. Didn't mean to hold y'all for long, but I just wanted to let y'all know what y'all are getting into before you dive in. Best of luck to all those who do invest and go in to pull him, and best to those who go on to face him, because it's definitely a guy that I can see being used for blitzes, making them easy against difficult opponents with the AI. Definitely a solid champion to keep in your back pocket for feuds, depending on certain champions, especially with perks and that gear. That gear. All moves start with 4 more MP. Combined with your MP trainers and coaches and perks, he's going to be ready to go right out of the gate turn 1. He's going to be absolutely broken and be able to put a lot of difficult champions at bay. Who's to say we don't get a coach that reduces purple submissions? A lot awaits us in the future, and I look forward to seeing what Champions does with him. But definitely going to help out when it comes to showdowns, buy you some time. He's going to be bleeding people to death. He's going to be draining health with the power gems combined, plus putting all those protect gems down on the board. It's going to help out a lot of your tag team partner champions in mixed match and male division showdown tournaments. So what are your thoughts? Are you investing or not? I say that you should if you need a very solid top tier, high quality defensive champion. Again, we're going to have a chance at his shards, 200 of them. We're going to have a chance to get him at 3-star bronze. You can properly unlock him at 4-star bronze, and there's going to be a loot where you can get enough shards for him, just like Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Well, Hulkamania, Hulk Hogan, Kairi Sane, and the Hall of Fame champions, where you can properly get him at 4-star gold initially. So, with that being said, y'all, yowie, wowie, let him in.